Now, Iran's nuclear deal with Western powers has received at best a lukewarm reception from Gulf states. Saudi Arabia in particular is concerned by the political shift of power in favor of Iran, but it's also worried about the release of more than $100 billion of Iran's funds would allow it to flood the energy market with cheap oil. Now, that could be the reason why Riyadh has been reaching out to new political and economic partners. It signed a $10 billion investment deal with Russia. Both sides don't see eye to eye on Syria. In return, Moscow will help develop nuclear energy. With France, it signed a $13 billion deal for 30 Airbus passenger planes and a feasibility study for 2 nuclear reactors. Plus, with Israel, unconfirmed media reports say Prince Walid bin Talal, one of the world's richest men, is planning to go to Israel to open a dialogue with the Israelis at the request of King Salman. Well, joining me now from Jeddah is Khaled Batarfi, a political analyst and senior columnist at the Saudi Gazette newspaper. Thank you for being with us. So what do you put this sudden flurry of activity from Saudi Arabia down to? Is it a direct result of the nuclear deal with Iran and a fear of a newly insurgent Iran?
No, actually, King Salman, when he was crown prince, he went to China, India, Japan, to the east and west, and he is trying to make a balance that Saudi Arabia is not depending on just one superpower, the United States, or the traditional allies, Britain and France and Germany, and he's trying to balance this with other connections and alliances, partnerships with other superpowers and other important countries in the Muslim world also. So he could, balance his act. For example, he made a visit to both India and Pakistan. And usually those are traditionally countries with issues with each other, but still he made this balance. So I believe he's doing the same here in the Arab world by making connections with Hamas as well as with Egypt.
So what do you think is behind the deal with Russia? Relations between the two countries have not been great, particularly over the Syria conflict. Could this also be an attempt perhaps to try and get Russia on side and put greater pressure on Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, who up to now Russia has been supporting?
Yes, this could be a part of it, but Russia is a superpower too. Saudi Arabia needs to balance its relations, as I said, with the rest of the world, and Russia is very important player. Since we reinstated our relation with Russia and had our first embassy with Dr. Abdulaziz Khoja, who was our first ambassador in 1990, Saudi Arabia was reaching out to Russia and China as well. And now I think we need Russia to help us solve problems in the Middle East, and especially in Syria.
With this civilian nuclear deal with France now that we mentioned earlier, there are skeptics out there who doubt that Saudi Arabia, a country heavily reliant on oil revenues, of course, has either the present or future capability to pursue a nuclear program. What do you say to that?
Well, we are talking here about nuclear energy. It's not a nuclear program. And Saudi Arabia has been pursuing this a long time ago. After the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait, we start studying our options, because I just read today that 4 million barrel a day out of 10 million barrels in Saudi Arabia, Saudi production of oil is used internally and locally. That's a very dangerous trend, and if this continues, we might reach a day when we don't have much to export.
Would you give any credence to some Israeli media accounts that are saying, they're talking about a possible visit by Prince Walid bin Talal to Israel? Is it just a trial balloon, or might that actually happen one day?
He went to Jerusalem before, but not to Israel. And he has some projects in in the Palestinian land, the Palestinian state, and this is not a secret. Now they are talking about visit to Israel. I doubt that.
How do you perceive it more generally than the overall policy of Saudi Arabia in all of this?
It's a continuation of what he started when he was crown prince. As I said, he is of the idea that we should balance our relations with the world. We should not be dependent on the United States or our traditional allies. We should depend on ourselves, but also have partners everywhere, east and west. And then when there is a deal, we should have the best deal. In the past, for example, we would have bought our airplanes from only Boeing, because we have a very strong relation with the with America in general and with American companies in particular. Today, the Saudi Airlines announced 50 airplanes from Airbus. So that's just an example of how he view the world and how he view the foreign relations, Saudi foreign relations with the world. Just recently, a couple of months ago, we opened our stock market to foreigners from all over. It's not particular, there is no exclusive rights to certain countries, but it's open to the whole world. I believe that's his strategy, that's his vision, and I believe it's working so far.
Khaled Batarfi in Jeddah, thanks for being with us.
You are most welcome, sir.